Even though there's no water flow right now, this is a fountain that is located in the Between the Rivers Historic District. And this landmark was dedicated to Martin Buddy Mitchell, who died February 11th, 1997, and who served 17 years as a member of the Rome City Commission, 8 years as its chairman. And Buddy loved his city as he loved his family and friends. His Buddy Mitchell Plaza honors and embeds his memory. And right here is an engraving right here of the bridge that comes across the confluence of the three rivers right here in Rome, Georgia. And this particular fountain was made possible by the Rome City Commission, October 16, 1998, with Georgia Pullen as the chairman. Let's get it. Good morning, YouTube family. This is P9, and I am here at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains here in North Georgia. I'm in the city of Rome, Georgia. Rome, Georgia is located in Floyd County, and it has a population of 37,713. And it is the largest city in Northwest Georgia, and overall the 26th largest city in the state. Now, Rome, Georgia was incorporated in 1834, and it was named after the world-renowned Rome, Italy. And here we stand right in front of the Carnegie Building as I make my way downtown Rome. And downtown Rome is anchored by the main drag of Broad Street. And right here is a City Hall of Rome, and it has this monument in front of it, and it's dedicated to Robert Beatty, who was a master surgeon and illustrious pioneer in medicine. And that's him right here, Robert Beatty, MD. So this is who this monument is dedicated to, and it sits right in front of Rome City Hall and Auditorium. So it's pretty much structured similar to the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. And right in front of City Hall on the steps, you have this monument right here, or this sculpture. And it is a statue of the Capitoline wolf. Interesting sculpture right here. So that sculpture was sculpted in ancient Rome, which of course is in Italy. So I'm up early. I'm here at a little after 7 o'clock a.m. So the streets are quiet, of course. And this area right here is known as Towers Plaza. And again, it sits right outside of City Hall. And this sculpture is of Admiral John Henry Towers, who was born in 1885 and was known as the father of naval aviation. So it's just a bunch of stones sitting here that are inscribed with history pertaining to Towers, John Henry Towers. Henry Towers, a U.S. Naval Academy graduate in 1906, was born and raised in Rome, Georgia, in a house 1 block east of this memorial. He remained in the highest command of naval aviation throughout his distinguished 45-year career before retiring in 1947, where he became the first admiral in naval aviation and the first 4-star officer in any service in the state of Georgia. As a true visionary, he foresaw aviation's importance to the Navy. Okay, John Henry Towers. So this is a plaza that's dedicated in his honor. And there's a ton of information pertaining to John Henry Towers. And this was dedicated in 2014 and made possible through the joint efforts of the ADM John Towers Memorial Committee, the City of Rome, and the Rome Area Heritage Foundation. So all of those were huge players in putting together that plaza sitting outside of City Hall. Now I'm getting ready to make my way into the heart of downtown. They have these stones with for the preamble of the Constitution. They have a little compass inscribed into the ground. That's pretty cool. Then you have the First Amendment. Of course, that's the freedom of speech, assembly, and all of those things. Freedom of press, religion. It's a nice lamp right there, nice street light. And this right here, this building right here, built in 1927, is a DeSoto Theater. And you see right here, that's the Art Deco sign. So it's the Rome's Little Theater. They have the light over here. And look, if you look at there, you got Miss Mary Poppins coming. The Broadway musical coming to town December 6th through the 15th. So if you're in Rome and you happen to be in the area, come check it out. Okay, Traveling Gypsies, Summit Mist Vapors. Oh, so that's a vape shop, okay. They still got the Halloween decks up there, scarecrows. Stonehaven, crystals, metaphysics. So it's one of those spiritual joints right there. And this plaque right here is dedicated to the memory of African American entrepreneurs in downtown Rome between 1880 to 1966, and placed by the African American Historical Society of Rome / Floyd County. And this was February of 2002. Okay, so you had your black entrepreneurs holding it down here in the late 19th to mid 20th century. And check out Rome with the light bulbs right here. Really cool. Nice little decorations in the city. And check this out. This sculpture is called the Dancing Flower. Designed by Robert Noble, concept by Blaine Williams, and fabricated by Jimmy Birdsong. And this sculpture is inspired by Mickey Dobbs, who was a human embodiment of nature through her actions, movement, and beautiful disposition. So the city of Rome and the family of Mickey Dobbs, and as well as Business Improvement District and Downtown Development Authority and the Rome Area Council for the Arts, contributed to putting this sculpture up. So it's really nice, especially what it represents nature, actions, and movements. So shout out to Blaine Williams, Robert Noble, Jimmy Birdsong, and the family of Mickey Dobbs for that really nice sculpture right here called the Dancing Flower. A tattoo shop right here. Check this out. Would you look at here? There go the 47th president of the United States right here. Donald Trump is back in the office. Officially takes office in January 2025. And I don't know if you guys, I know a lot of you guys have probably seen my Scottsboro video where there was a Trump store. And remember in that video, I predicted it was going to be a landslide victory for Trump over Harris. And look what happened. So they got the posters out in full force. I said it was going to be a landslide, and that's exactly what happened. I know these folks out in Rome, I know they celebrated like crazy. Check this out. The Junior Service League of Rome. Okay. Established 1934. Right over here, you got like a little bar. It's a vintage bar, a Mediterranean bistro called La Scala. So it looks like a pretty relaxing little environment over here. You have a winery right here, downtown winery. A bridal shop right over here. And that building across the street is a Masonic temple building that was built in 1877. And on the ground level of that building is a wings, burgers, and oysters joint called Jefferson's. And they also have a boutique over there called Blue Willow. And you have over here another bridal shop and also an embroidery establishment called Needleworks. So a lot of mom and pop establishments in downtown Rome on Broad Street. Check this out. This alley right here is called Opera Alley. Opera Alley was a walkway adjacent to the Nevin Opera House at 321 Broad Street. The Opera House, which opened in September of 1880, was built by Mr. M.A. Nevin. The alley, donated to the city by Mr. Nevin, was officially declared a city thoroughfare so that performers, stagehands, and suppliers might enter and leave the Opera House without having to pass through the box office and parquet sections. Okay, so this is really cool right here. They have an Opera Alley. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check it out real quick because you have the string lights right over here that lead down the alley. Okay, so this building right here is called the Forum of River Center. So I would imagine this would be, I guess this is like a convention center perhaps. Get some information on it. And this was the Forum, November 1994 is when it opened. Architected by James Buckley and Associates, Waynesboro, Rome, and Albany, a construction manager, Holder Construction Company of Atlanta. And these are all the individuals right here who were basically on the part of the project. Okay, so they have a little convention center right over here on Broad Street, downtown Rome. Let me check this out right here, because I think we're over here by the river, if I'm not mistaken, the Etowah River. Okay, yeah, so we are over here by the Etowah River actually. And here's a marker right here. It's called the Etowah River, and it flows from its headwaters near the falls of Amicalola Creek in Georgia's Blue Ridge Mountains to Rome. Its Cherokee name, Etowah, derived from the Muskogee Creek word Eltawa, possibly meaning city, in reference to the ancient chiefdom once centered near the Etowah Mounds in Bartow County. As Europeans settled the area, the name was corrupted phonetically into Hightower and was shown as the Hightower River on early maps. Okay, so the Etowah was basically, it derived from the Cherokee language of the Cherokee tribe, which of course were the original inhabitants of Northwest Georgia. So this is pretty cool park. You know, they have a little seating area over there. They have some benches. They have a couple of these swings over here as well. And they have information on pretty much every major river that runs through Rome. You have the Coosa River, which begins at its confluence in Rome and winds its way through Alabama. Its waters eventually empty into the Gulf of Mexico at Mobile Bay. It takes its name from the American Indian chiefdom encountered in what is now North Georgia by Spanish conquistador Hernando de Soto in 1540. The area of the confluence, present-day Rome, was known to the Cherokee as the head of Coosa before European settlement. The river supports more than 147 species of fish and contains the world's largest diversity of freshwater snails and mussels. Okay, so a lot of history pertaining to these major rivers. And this one is the Oostanaula River, which forms the confluence of Conasauga and Coosa rivers, 45 miles north of Rome, near the site of what was once a Cherokee town of the same name. Among the meanings of its Cherokee name, Oostanaula are rock that bars the way, shoaly river, and a rock ledge across a stream. Two of the most prominent Cherokee leaders, Major Ridge and John Ross, settled along the Oostanaula River many years before the founding of Rome in 1834. So here you have it right here. This is the Etowah River. They have some steps that lead down there, and they have like some brick paved sidewalks over here, so you can walk alongside the river over here. And across there is a Courtyard Marriott Hotel. So they have a hotel that's right over here downtown by the Etowah River. You walk up here, and you have a sculpture right here of a painter who goes by the name of Ellen Axon Wilson. Ellen Axon Wilson was First Lady of the United States between 1913 and 1914, when her husband Woodrow Wilson became 28th president. She grew up in Rome, where her father, the Reverend Samuel Edward Axon, was pastor of the First Presbyterian Church. So this lady right here, Miss Ellen, was educated at the Rome Female Academy, where she studied art, winning an international award. So she actually met Woodrow Wilson at her father's church and were married in Savannah in 1885. And she helped him early in his career as a professor and college president while rearing their 3 daughters and pursuing her interest in art. So she was very busy, but she did not let that stop her from painting these beautiful portraits. And that's her right here, Miss Ellen Axon Wilson. So this sculpture was dedicated in September of 2015 and made possible by Georgia Power and a ton of other companies that were involved. So there it goes right there. And this is the river right here, of course, right over here by this bridge. It's like they're building something over there as well. Quite possibly there might even be who knows, there might be like some apartments or something they're building. Rotary Club of Rome Memorial Wall, dedicated to those citizens of Rome and Floyd County who served in the major world wars of that time. So this is the memorial wall right here. Those are World War II vets. And these are vets of Korea, Vietnam, Persian, and Iraq War right here. Then you have this right here. You have this nice mural of Rome, established 1834. And credit to @Peachtree_Queen_art. So that's the social media tag for the artist of this beautiful mural. Peachy_Queen_art. Well, check her out. So far, pretty impressed with Rome. Pretty impressed with Rome. And this building right here is just the Floyd County Courthouse and Judicial Center. Back down Broad Street. Anna's by the river where friends meet. Okay. Rome Area History Center. Veterans Day coming up November 11th. It's Monday coming up. And look, they have a Georgia's Rome Welcome Center and gift shop, so you can get souvenirs right here. Souvenirs for your visit here in Rome. Then of course you have your downtown map right here. So this is where we just were not too long ago. The Etowah, Coosa, and Oostanaula River. So we was at the confluence of those three rivers. I like how they have the lights wrapped around the trees. That's pretty cool. In preparation for the upcoming holiday season. You got the chef statue right out here. That's dope. What restaurant is this, by the way? Now this is a mellow mushroom, actually. It's mellow mushroom. They have a mellow mushroom right here downtown Rome. It's a famous chain pizza restaurant. The Honeymoon Bakery. And right across the street, they have a sports bar and grill called Giggity's. Makes me laugh because it reminds me of Quagmire from Family Guy. But look at the architecture of those old buildings. Those buildings still intact. One of them is has a Coleman's, and a lot of them are occupied by boutiques and salons and spas. So that's pretty cool. Paula's Boutique on Broad. Whistle Britches. J&J Candles. Okay. And this building also has some history to it. This was the Warlick building, circa 1898. Originally a bank, this building served several shoe companies, grocery stores, and furniture stores throughout the 20th century. Together with the adjacent 3 storefronts, this building was known as the Warlick Building, named for John T. Warlick, a steamboat captain. So yeah, a lot of these establishments, these boutiques, and these small businesses were housed in these old historical buildings, as you can see. Another boutique right here, Apricot Lane. At the corner of Broad Street and 2nd Avenue now. So there's tons of shopping and dining that you could do, as well as recreational activities you can partake in here in Rome. What I like about Rome is that it's a pretty major city here in Georgia, but it's not too big of a city. It's easy, pretty easy to walk around and navigate through the city. Not an issue with parking that you would have in major cities. I wanted to come over here and get this building right here. This building that has the yellow, that's painted with yellow bricks. It's called the W.J. West building. And this was built in 1906. And this West building is now occupied by West Lofts. So they have 1 and 2-bedroom loft apartments in that building right there. Again, it's called the W.J. West building. Southern Seasons florals. Goes the American flag right here. Look at this. It's called Swerve Off the Path. Okay, so they have I guess that's it says grain craft, so that's like a factory right there. I believe that's what that is. Looks like a factory based on the design of the building, grain craft. So I'm assuming that's a beer manufacturer or beer factory, whatever you want to call it. And there's a marker right here, the Noble Brothers Foundry. So I guess this building was originally the Noble Brothers Foundry, which is located on the south side of Broad Street at First Avenue on the banks of the Etowah River in downtown Rome. Was the Noble Brothers and Company Foundry, one of the most important iron manufacturing businesses in the South. English-born James Noble Sr. and his 6 sons moved to Rome from Reading, Pennsylvania in 1855. They chose Rome because of its proximity to high-quality iron ore deposits. The foundry included a huge metal working lathe for shaping castings into the exterior of cannon. This 16-foot long lathe with its 10-foot swing was transported to Rome by water and wagon from Pennsylvania. So by 1857, the Noble Brothers Foundry built one of the first railroad locomotives south of Richmond, Virginia. The 25-ton Alfred Shorter ran on an 18-mile spur east from Rome to Kingston, where it linked with the Western and Atlantic Railroad. The foundry also manufactured boilers and steam engines for river boats on the nearby Coosa River, among other items. So this was a very important manufacturing site. So apparently after the abandonment of the Noble Brothers Iron Manufacturing Company, it was taken over by a beer manufacturing company. So that's interesting. But I did not know Rome was located near a bunch of iron ore deposits or was a major iron manufacturing company or iron manufacturing area during that time. So pretty cool history to learn right there. And by the way, this is part of the Georgia Civil War Heritage Trail. Like right here, this used to be like a service station, it looks like, but it's now a Cosmic Dog Outpost career craft beer garden. Okay. There goes the river again right here. And remember, this is the south end of Broad Street. I don't know if you guys can see that right there on that hill, but right up on that hill The hill is called Myrtle Hill, and that's actually a cemetery up there. And this is in this section of Rome. It's called South Rome. So it's the south part of Rome right here. And again, this over here is Myrtle Hill. It's a mausoleum, and it sits way up there on that hill. So you can only imagine the amount of stairs you have to walk up to get to that particular part. So it sits at the corner of South Broad Street and Branham Avenue. So with that in mind, this does conclude downtown Rome. Just a couple more spots I want to stop and I'll be done. So stay tuned. This is over here by the Courtyard Marriott and across the river from downtown Rome. And this right here, good people, is Barron Stadium, historic Barron Stadium, which is a football field and track and field stadium right here in Rome, Georgia. And this was established in 1924. So this football stadium hosts the Shorter University Hawks and Rome high school football teams. So this is the front of the stadium right here. So the Shorter University football team and the Rome high school football teams compete in this stadium. And as a side note, Rome also has a private university called Berry College. So for those who might be potentially interested in moving to Rome or have kids who wish to further their education, Rome, Georgia is a pretty nice little, little city. And they have two universities. There's a private university, Berry College, and I think Shorter University might be a public university, if I'm not mistaken. No, excuse me. Shorter University is actually a private Baptist university. So you have two private universities right here in Rome. But this is Barron Stadium. This is what it looks like right here. There's the field. And there goes the track around the field, and there goes the actual football field. And of course, there goes the Jumbotron right there with the scoreboard. And you can see right over there are the bleachers. So this stadium holds 6,500. So it's a 6,500 seating capacity stadium right here in Rome, Georgia. That in mind, good people, thanks again for tuning in. If you made it this far, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already done so and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you can get notifications every time I drop a new vlog. And with that in mind, thanks again for watching. Have a great day and see you on the next one.